Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn. Paul speaking, and we're going to be looking at a new game on the eShop today, and that is AO Tennis 2, the Australian Open tennis game, which comes to the Nintendo Switch for the first time. This comes from Big Ant Studios, who also made Cricket 19 on the Switch last year, and seem to be carving out quite a nice little niche for themselves with these feature-packed sports games. Now, we'll get to some gameplay in a moment, but first of all, I thought we'd just show you around some of the settings. Now, one of the things that was in the cricket game was the Academy, and that's made it onto the Nintendo Switch version of AO Tennis 2. And this is a really impressive editing suite, really. And the good news is it's already populated with loads of content. I can only assume that the content is cross-platform, as the first game, AO Tennis 1. All the editing on there is also compatible with AO Tennis 2 on all platforms. So this must be pulling in content from the PC version as well. So when you get the game, you're going to be getting all of the edits. So, you know, you've got players on here, player likenesses as Andy Murray. One of the nice features of this as well is this play face, which I'm not 100% sure what it means, but the actual play face name as such. But it looks like you can upload an actual face of the player. So you got Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer there with their actual face likenesses rather than sort of these created edits using the in-game editor. So that's another really good feature. And you know, there's no end of players there. You've also got logos. You can create your own logos. See if we can download those as well. See if we can search in the community. So you've got search type for players, logos, venues, scenarios. So there's so much stuff here that you can download. Let's have a look and see what logos. So yeah, look, you've got Adidas, the ATP World Tour, Volkswagen, Roland Garros. So you can use all these logos when you're creating stadiums. Let's see if there's any venues. Let's have a look, see if there's like Wimbledon. Assume there will be. But yeah, I was super impressed to see this on the Nintendo Switch version. So yeah, here you go. Look at these venues. There's sort of not just stadiums. You've got like whole complexes of venues. LA Tennis Club, New Zealand Roland Garros, Indian Wells, and here of course is Wimbledon. So we can actually download that. So if we press A, you can download that. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'll skip this if it takes too long. It took no time at all, really. So let's get into the game anyway. So there's the suite that you can do all your editing in, which is going to be really good. We'll have a look at a little bit more of that in depth over the coming days. I'm going to be doing a few videos on this game. It's also got full online mode. I'm not sure if that's cross-platform. I'm going to assume it's not till I find out more. But there is online play available. You've got a career mode, which from what I've seen looks really good, like story-driven career mode with cutscenes. So we're going to dig into that a little bit more. You can play the Australian Open as like a licensed event. Tutorials, which are good to go through, and these scenarios. As I say, from the suite there, you can create your own. Right, we won't go into that again. We'll have a little bit of a deeper look at it. I just want to have a real surface look at this right now. I'm just going to a singles match. And you go, it has got some licensed content, as you can see here. So you've got some real players. There's David Goffin on the right hand side. Just wait while the assets load in. Is it Karen Kachanov? Must admit my knowledge of tennis sort of ended when Tim Henman retired. I haven't really kept up with it. But what we'll do is we'll have a look at all the players here. You press the X button, you can bring up all your downloaded players. So we're going to play with Andy Murray. It's not a bad likeness of Andy Murray, actually. Let's bring it back up again. I didn't confirm the selection. But considering it's not using that real face thing, that's someone's edit, it's not too bad. You kind of get the likeness. We'll play against, I don't know, let's play against Rafa Nadal. Just to see how he performs. And let's have a look at the courts. Let's see if we can find... We've got London now. Let's see if it pulls in. Oh, there's the edit we've pulled in. So Wimbledon 2018. You've got all these different courts as well within the complex. You can play on centre court, court 1, court 3, court 2. It's just so, there's like 5 different courts within the venue, so that's really cool as well. And you can play with the retractable roof, open or closed. So again, this is the sort of thing that Big Ant brought to Cricket 19, and that is attention to detail. There's just so many options that you can have in these games. It's really, really impressive for someone that likes editing, simulation sort of style play. Really dig this sort of thing. So we'll come back after this short load and get on with some gameplay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this casual match.
So welcome back. Here's Wimbledon. You can see how well this is someone's created edit using the in-game editor. And I mean, as a casual tennis fan, to me this looks like Wimbledon, feels like Wimbledon. So, you know, it may be missing the absolute intricacies, but it looks good enough to me. Simply going through the loading screen now, showing you the controls, and I forgot to mention the game has got motion controls, which I haven't tried out yet. Will serve. You can use like a single Joy-Con for motion control, so that's going to be interesting as well. Now, just as well, bear in mind when we're showing off this game here that there is a day 1 patch that's due tomorrow. So today is Thursday. If you're watching this at another point, there is a day 1 patch apparently due on Friday. Watch an action replay. It apparently fixes a major issue. I don't know what the issue is. I have reached out to BigBen, who kindly provided the code to find out what the issue is that's being fixed tomorrow. But apparently there isn't some issues in the game that are being patched out tomorrow. So I'm not going to really give any massive opinions on this right now. It's more of just a showcase of what the game's about. And then once I get that patch tomorrow, I'll have a closer look at the game and we'll talk about it some more. But I don't think it's fair to give any opinions right now until we see what that patch fixes. So this game, if you haven't played AO Tennis before, the players kind of move themselves. It can be set on a slider. Currently at full player assist movements at the moment. It slides from 0 to 99, so 0 is apparently minimal assist movement, but there is some assist movement. You just aim the shot and pick from different shot types with the face buttons and triggers. I'm not going to reach that. Good point. You can kind of do this, you might see in the bottom corner a little logo pop up of like an angel and a devil up and down on the D-pad. It allows you to actually choose when you want to sort of react to a point, whether you want to celebrate or whether you want to be angry in your celebration, or angry in your response, I should say, sorry. So if we look at that, kind of an angry response from Henman. Murray. Got Henman on the brain. Ooh, good serve. And you press X to get a replay, and these highlights get saved off as well, so you can save a library of replays. We can see really nice sort of super slow-mo replay. Looks really good, like that. So yeah, I don't think this one looks too bad. There's a little bit of slowdown, which I've played a few matches at different stadiums, and I don't know if it's going to be stadium dependent. This one seems to be a little bit laggy. Now I'm only wondering, is this the first created stadium that I've played in? And I wonder if, like, if you create a stadium and throw too many assets into it, it affects the gameplay a little bit. Because this wasn't as noticeable. The frame rate was a little bit better than this in the other stadiums that I played. But again, I'm not going to sort of sit here and say, oh, look at the frame rate, because I need to see that patch that's coming out tomorrow. So just do bear that in mind if you're going to comment on this video. Oh, could have run in and smashed that. That's out. So I think it's got a better feel straight away than World Tennis Tour that was out on the Switch last year. Atmosphere feels really good. Sound effects are good. And the graphics are a little bit blurry. I don't know what the texture is on these, or the resolution, sorry, on this Switch version is. Certainly doesn't look to be 1080p. But I don't mind too much if the gameplay's good. What we'll do is, over the coming days, we'll post some other videos up. Oh, nice to get an apology there from Nadal. Let's watch that as it nets it and it trickles over the net. Then Nadal held his hand up in an apology. So that's a really nice little touch. So they've definitely aimed for more of a simulation style this year, which is good. Again, I do like the player animations. And I'm really looking forward to digging into the career mode. That looked really good with the different cutscenes, different bits of training you can do. Probably shouldn't have picked the one of the world's best players to play against, but there we go. There is also, oh, it's a good shot down the line from Murray. There's also a sliding scale of options for difficulty as well, which you can actually look at any time. So again, a bit like Cricket 19 had this like really good pause menu. We've got it here as well. We can look at an action replay, those saved highlights. Whenever you manually pick a highlight, you can go back and view those. Forfeit the match. This was a really good option that I like, simulate, which I really like. If you get stuck for time or you just don't want to play out the rest of the match, you can choose to simulate it. And then when you click that, you can then choose to simulate for a number of points, games or sets. Also just to the end of the match. So that's really good. So if you're sort of way behind in a game or a set, you can just simulate it to the end. Don't have to play it out. Like that a lot. Got stats, match summary, settings, controls, gameplay modifiers. So if you go into the, let's have a look at general settings. You can change the difficulty here at any time. Currently on rookie. Got lots of different levels. So lots to challenge you there. Different camera angles and all these different options here. Lots of different things to tinker with. Audio settings as well. So again, you've got loads of those. You can turn off the grunts if you don't like them, for example. Really cool. Can't see the stats yet. Here's the match summary. So all the usual stuff you'd expect there. And what else can we have a look at? Gameplay modifiers. So you can, as I say, change this assisted movement. Let's just change it down to 0. See how much it does actually affect. Because I know some people I've been speaking to have been quite keen to see how the assisted movement affects the game. So let's just try a couple of points with assisted movement off. Now, personally for me, I mean, I'm not a tennis purist, as I said, but I quite like the fact that it's got assisted movement, because I always find tennis games quite awkward to sort of move your player with the left stick and also aim your shot with the left stick. I find that a little bit counterintuitive. Oh, little trick shot there from Murray. But you can see there, I've ran off to the left as I was, wanting to preload my shot to the left. So I think that's why they've got this assisted movement in. And personally, I'll be playing with it on. But I just wanted to show you here, just to sort of see how much freedom we've got. Once you start holding down the button, your sort of movement is locked in. But if you want to start preloading a direction for a shot pretty early, then it's going to affect your movement. So we can get a little lob shot, and yeah, a little passing shot there from Nadal. Because again, I didn't feel like I could get the movement into it. So it's up to you if you want to turn that assisted movement right down. It looks like you do get quite a lot of freedom of movement, but to me, it just makes it harder to play. So it won't be something that I'll be playing with. I'll be using the assisted movement. But you can see that you've got the aiming sensitivity, which is quite low at the moment. Let's get that back up. Some 50, alters the speed which your aiming target moves. Now, I don't know if this is one of the things that's being fixed in the patch, but there should be an aiming reticle on the pit, on the court. Sorry, at the other end of the court, there should be an aiming reticle. And let me just find where it is. I think it's. I did see it in here. Target marker. There it is. Enabled, disabled. So I'm not seeing that as I'm playing the game. That should be a marker on the other end of the court to show where you're aiming your shot, but that isn't appearing at the moment. So I wonder if that's one of the main issues that's being patched tomorrow. Hope so. Because from what I've seen of other systems, there is like a little ball icon that you can direct, which I think that with the assisted movement will really help, and also let you play out some good points, because you'll be using your aiming strategy a lot easier than just guessing at the moment. That's just out. So there you go. It just was going to be a quick look at AO Tennis 2 on the Nintendo Switch. Came out today. I think it's only out in Europe, I believe. I don't think it's out in the American regions for a little while yet, which seems to be the way with these BigBen releases. So I'll try and find out a definite date for the American release and put it in the description below. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think of this one. As I say, don't be too harsh with what you've seen so far, because there is that patch coming. And we'll have another look at it. If the patch changes anything significantly, I'll get another video up tomorrow looking at the changes. But say, we will be trying to put some more content this one up. Want to look at the career mode. Want to look at that editing suite in a little bit of a closer detail. And so we may well just run through the career mode a little bit and see what matches against the easier AI players are like. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this quick overview. And I will see you all on the next video. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.